The city of Costa Mesa is currently updating its housing element for the 2021 through 2029 planning period. Every 8 years, each city in the state of California is required to update its housing element to plan for the needs of the community as well as to be eligible to receive certain state funding. This brief video will provide insight into current demographic and housing conditions within Costa Mesa and set the stage for the housing element update. The housing element is a required chapter of the Costa Mesa General Plan, which is a long-range guidance document for the city. The Department of Housing and Community Development, or HCD, reviews each city's housing element for certification to make sure that it complies with state laws. The housing element identifies projected housing needs by income category based on the median income for Orange County. The housing element also provides goals, policies, and programs to guide housing growth in the city. The housing element programs identify actions, funding sources, and agencies that will implement the city's goals. The housing element is made up of 4 sections. These include an analysis of data that describes the population and housing in Costa Mesa, an evaluation of constraints to the development of housing and resources available, policies, programs, and objectives to achieve the city's goals, and an analysis and identification of sites to accommodate the city's housing need. Anticipated population growth is important to consider in the update process as Costa Mesa plans for both current and future housing needs in the community. One of the primary goals of this process is to plan for a variety of housing types to meet residents' needs. In 2010, the census recorded a population of approximately 109,960 city residents. By 2040, the population is estimated to increase by 6% to 116,400. The housing element looks at access to housing for multiple segments of the population. Residents of different racial and ethnic backgrounds may have varying housing needs. The housing element looks at the community's makeup and considers it with a variety of other data points to get a well-rounded picture of the community. The Costa Mesa population is mostly made up of persons identifying as white. Those identifying as some other race represent 13%, and those identifying as Asian represent 8.4%. The Hispanic or Latino population of any races make up over a quarter of the Costa Mesa population at 36%. Households often have varying needs that depend on a resident's age and the number of people living within a household. Costa Mesa is made up of about 43% married couple households. Non-family households, which include persons living alone or those living with roommates, represent 40% of Costa Mesa households. Non-family households often seek apartments or smaller-sized housing options. Seniors over the age of 65 represent 10.7% of the Costa Mesa population. Senior residents can be on fixed incomes and have lowered mobility options, so they look for housing near medical and senior services. Costa Mesa is currently projecting a slightly aging population trend as those 50 years or older increases while those under the age of 19 decreases. Trends like this can potentially result in additional need for services and affordable senior housing options. Home ownership and renting are the 2 primary housing options in Costa Mesa. The percentage of residents who either own a home or rent provides some insight into the city's housing market and community. Costa Mesa is majority renters, with almost 60% of the population renting their housing accommodations. These may be apartments, townhouses, single-family houses, or individual rooms. Homeowners who use their home as a primary residence make up the remaining 40% of the population. To get an idea of which housing types may be needed in the future, the housing element reviews characteristics of the current housing types. Approximately half of Costa Mesa's housing units are multifamily developments, and about 38% are single-family detached homes. The remainder of Costa Mesa's housing is made up of 2.4% mobile homes and 9.6% attached single-family homes, which can include townhomes or live-work units. Housing over 30 years old is generally associated with a higher likelihood of needing some form of maintenance or repairs, though many property owners make repairs and improvements over time. The majority of housing in Costa Mesa was built over 30 years ago. As part of the housing element, The city may consider programs that address aging housing stock and opportunities for maintenance or preservation of houses. The affordability of housing plays an important part in the housing element, as the plan must accommodate for the development of housing affordable at all income levels. A review of current housing shows that rental rates have steadily increased over the past 4 years, with an average increase of 4.4% for 1 to 3 bedroom units. The median price of homes for sale in Costa Mesa exceed the median cost of homes in Orange County, but are still lower than the neighboring cities of Irvine, Huntington Beach, and Newport Beach. Comparison of household incomes between renters and owners is another important factor. As a whole, homeowners in Costa Mesa have higher incomes than renters in the city. This may point to a need for more affordable rental options. These are just a few of the important community characteristics that are analyzed as part of the Housing Element Update. Community input, market trends, and regional housing factors play an important role in planning for future housing within Costa Mesa. For more information on upcoming meetings or events, please visit the city's Housing Element Update webpage on the city's website. If you have any questions or comments, please email housing-element@costamensaca.gov.